Alright, this is Justin with JamPro Sound again. I am just kind of screwing around with a song I've been working on. Uh, Mainly what I'm looking at right now is making some minor adjustments to Shep's Omni Channel on a couple of buses. I just went from Omni Channel 1 to 2, and I know it's been out a while, but I haven't made the upgrade until the last couple of days. There's a couple of things that I'm noticing are kind of sounding better. I feel like I can get the results that I want with less uh, input from the plugin. If you don't know Waves Omni Channel, I've done a couple other videos on Omni Channel. This is the new version 2. Like I said, it's been out for a while, probably the last year at least, I think. I think it was a holiday season last year, maybe before. I don't remember. Anyway, um, they've added a few different things and made some adjustments. You've got a crush saturation mode now that you didn't have before. Previously, you only had 6, 12, or 18 dB per octave filters. These apply to your high pass and your low pass, and now they've added the 24 dB per octave slope. You've got a resonance adjust here. Thump is still here with the 2 or the 4 dB. It seems to me that there was something different, maybe the curves or something. Something was different about um, the 2 dB versus the 4 dB. I'll have to look into that, but it seems to me that the resonance peak point for the thump setting is different depending on which option you choose. It's not a fixed frequency or filter, just with an additional 2 dB gain. So the gate mode, I don't remember if anything's really changed there. Um, De-esser mode, I think, is pretty much the same. There might be some new things in here. Um, Dan Worrell goes into, or not Dan Worrell, um, Andrew Sheps does a pretty good job of walking through the different changes and improvements and things that they've added. And I haven't had enough time with it really. Compressor mode, the compressor section, they've added a soft mode. So previously you just had VCA, optical, and FET, and now they've got the soft mode, which is a little more subtle. Typically, if I'm in Omni Channel, I'm in 50% mix mode. Um, Essentially gives you parallel compression. And then a lot of times what I'll do is I'll use the output of the de-esser, even if I'm not using these filters. I will use the output trim to push into my compressor module if I'm trying to get a little bit more out of this bus. In this case, this is my master bus. Normally I don't mix into a master bus processor or compressor like this. I'm just kind of doing it for the keep the vibe up while I'm working on the song. Kind of helps steer me in certain directions. EQ wise, I'm not doing a lot here. Just a little bit here. 2 dB, high shelf at 1300 hertz. Just kind of gives everything an upper mid lift a little bit. Doesn't seem like much, but it is noticeable. Same thing for the mids. 2 dB. That's more of a dome. I can't remember exactly what the curve on that was, but again, that video with Andrew Sheps does a pretty good job of explaining all of this. Essentially, I'm just messing around with it. I haven't had much time with it at all. So, uh, one thing that was pointed out, I think, on one of Dan Worrell's videos was that the limiter on the master section here is pre-output fader, which makes sense. Let's see. The one thing that nobody seems to go into is the meter calibration, and I don't recall seeing anything in a manual. I'll have to look at that. But um, the other thing you can do is you can insert any other plugin from another manufacturer. You've got access to everything that's Waves and the different categories from Waves plugins. So in this case, I've got Berserk Distortion. I'm not sure what those others are. I didn't think I had. I got Soundfield. I think some of these are left over from something. Anyway, I don't have a lot of Waves plugins, but the ones I do have, I use pretty regularly. Let's see. One of these in here is going to be. So we got silk vocal. That's dynamics. Let's look at. No. How come I don't have the CLA? Is it in here maybe? Other. I'll have to look into that. I've got the CLA delay, and I wonder if I go in here. This is odd. Anyway, you can insert other plugins there now that are third party, not just Waves, and you can move this if you want. A lot of times, I'll just leave that there. There is one cool thing that I did notice that I'll add in here in a bit. Probably gonna. I think I've got it on the drums bus actually. Yeah, I think I do. So, I'll play this. Get some stuff out of the way. Where is my memory locations list? Okay. And I want to say that was in my. Here we go. Maybe not. Let me see here. One of these I thought that I had. Maybe I didn't save it. Okay, well, that just means that I get to show you. Okay, one thing I noticed that was kind of cool was in Omni Channel, if I go in here and we add our get in here to our Plugin Alliance Shadow Hills mastering compressor. This is on my drums bus. And for drums, I'm using the Slate, Steven Slate drums, version 5. And using the SSD5 Classic Rock Kit, Classic Absolute Rock preset. Mix-wise, kind of dialed in the kick a little bit. Snare, toms. Pulled the hi-hat down. I don't like a lot of hi-hat. What I do leave in, I do pan. Room and overheads. There's no clap, cowbell, or tambourine. The ride does kick in at some point. As far as the ADSR stuff, on the kick, I've done a little bit. Just trying to take some of the pop and smack out of the attacks and things. Clean that up a little bit. So anyway, that's what I'm using for drums just for now until I get someone to throw drums on this. But going back to Omni Channel, this is cool. What I like, what I figured out the other night that was kind of cool was I was messing around with. So what I noticed, and I don't know a lot about the Shadow Hills mastering compressor, as far as what it does or why. I know what it does. I know what I like it for. On a stereo bus, I'll run in stereo mode, and I find that the discrete gain circuit is punchy and gives me the focus. And the optical brings out more upper mid and top end and drags that stuff out if I push it. So like if I want more top end on the guitars to kind of wash out and cymbal wash and things like that, the optical gain, the optical settings is how I'll get that. Now it seems to me like there's kind of a sweet spot where I like what it does. And so it's either doing nothing, I like what it does, or it's just cranking down on whatever, and you'll see that it can get pretty drastic. So I'm going to go ahead and bypass this, hit play. There's that top end. Consolidate clip. Consolidate clip. I don't remember what the shortcut for consolidate clip is. Alt-Shift-3. Thank you. Oh, I'm getting tired. I should probably crash. You know, it's always a good sign when you're talking to yourself. Button on my monitor controller. I know it sounds like that snare and kick are way too loud, but I like my kick and snare loud. using SPL Labs or SPL Deverb to take some of this ambience off of these drums. Kind of takes some of the splat off the top end of the cymbals and everything. Again, that's just Stephen Slate drums. So all right, so I think I'm going to leave it at that. It's 11:11. That's a great time for me to stop. Yeah. Hey, Dad. Anyway, just screwing around with Omni Channel 2. Really liking what the Shadow Hills mastering compressor inserted on Omni Channel. This is cool. I'm really liking what this is doing. And again, subtle, keep my thresholds low. If you start bringing them up in this, it really starts to cramp down or clamp down. And then I leave my mix in here at 50%. Like I said, most of the time when I'm doing, unless it's a master output compressor or limiter somewhere, well, we'll get into that another time. Anyway, most of the time I run compressors at 50%, just so I still get a little bit of the original coming through, and or 50% actually. But anyway, I'm rambling. It's tired. It's tired. I'm tired. Fuck it. I'm going to bed. See ya.